What's up, guys? I know it is not Tuesday, but thank goodness I didn't do it on Tuesday. Family stuff came up. So we got a lot to talk about today and a lot of fun roster breakdowns and different things to do and to talk about with a couple of key signings last couple of days. Super excited. Let me share this real quick so people can come in. What's up? The big splash we were looking for. I guess I'll start. Robert Suarez, 3 years, 45. To pair with Iglesias, working back to front. Um, and Iglesias still being the closer is fine with me. I mean, that's interchangeable, but having that two-headed monster in the back end of the bullpen definitely gives me the warm and fuzzies. And Robert Suarez, yeah. And then if you put maybe Laura, the flame throwing prospect that I've been looking forward to for a couple of years, maybe he emerges and it definitely gives you protection with hey Charles, with Joe Jimenez's knee. Maybe you get a better handle on where you go with your lefties because you've got a lot of hybrid lefties too. The Joey Winces, the Jose Suarez, obviously Dylan Lee. I don't know if you keep Aaron Bummer at the 9.5 salary, but I think the depth and versatility. Okay, the depth and versatility. I'll get to that real fast, but the depth and versatility of the bullpen and the starting rotation, because now you can choose what you want to do with Grant Holmes, who got a pretty clean bill of health, and then Ronaldo Lopez. Walt Weiss said that he will be stretched out as a starter in spring training, but that again could change. But the depth and versatility. The shortstop. Okay, shortstop. For me, I know that we've checked in on Corey Seager, and I love that we've checked in on the big name, but the contract scares the crap out of me. It's a 186 left, and it kind of gives me vibes of the Mark Teixeira deal we did years ago. And a lot of those players that we gave up became cornerstone pieces to the Texas Rangers runs in the playoffs and the World Series. Ultimately, they didn't get it done, but I just think that is too rich for my blood. Yes, Georgia was amazing for the SEC championship. That's great. Ha-Seong Kim. I think that would be a solid move, but I probably wouldn't go more than 350 maybe. But I don't know his market since he turned down 116. I know it's one, but I think the reality is nobody's defense is going to be as good as Nick Allen's. So you're going to, I think if we go Ha-Seong Kim, you get a solid at bat. You get solid defense, not gold glove defense like Mauricio Dubon or Nick Allen for sure. But I think you could also, I don't know what Bo Bichette's market is. He was projected for 186, which feels gross and deep and long. But then you could shift him to second base after a couple of years, maybe. So you could go huge, you could go big, but I really the Corey Seager thing scares the bejesus out of me. Maybe a Nico Horner or maybe a Brandon Lau. I don't know if he can play shortstop. Kim is a free agent right now. We've checked in also on Brendan Donovan from the Cardinals. I don't know his experience at shortstop. Let me share this real quick. Didn't let me share it. Oh well. So I think that there's a lot of options at shortstop and probably some that we're not even thinking of. I mean, Brandon Lau kind of feels right. I mean, 30 plus homers. I know it was in the Yankee ballpark or the spring training home of the Yankees. And I don't know if he's could transition to shortstop, but I feel like with the Robert Suarez move and the Mike Yastrzemski move, I know people weren't exactly thrilled by that, but I love it because it takes probably Marcell Ozuna out of the equation, so you're not stagnant at DH and stuck at DH. You could shift Jurickson Profar to DH, and you can give Ronald Acuna Jr. days off. Plus, he mashes right-handed pitchers. He had OPS of 850. He has a 13.4 walk rate. He was very, very good with the Royals last year after getting traded from the Giants. I think this is a fantastic move, and I've been talking all offseason long and for years, really, if you followed me, that the depth and versatility of the Braves had been lacking, in my opinion. So, and I think this definitely opens up several options. I think that a Sean Murphy trade could be on the table if you're talking improving shortstop maybe, or something of that nature, because he's not going to be healthy anyway coming into the season with his hip surgery or labrum surgery, whatever you want to call it. But I don't necessarily want to trade Sean Murphy because I think he's a fantastic game caller, and I don't want to put the full starting. We have several options, minor league shortstops, but they're probably 2 to 3 years down the line. John Gill, Alex Lodesy, and several other guys, but 2 to 3 years down the line of being probably major league ready. So that is a big thing. But I'm trying to, and I've seen CJ Abrams, the national shortstop, one that's interdivision trade. Two, I don't think he's a really good shortstop. I think he's going to eventually transition to probably like left field. So that doesn't seem like an option. Nico Horner would be really fun, but he's primarily a second baseman. Again, I don't know the ability there. Mauricio Dubon is a really good defensive shortstop, but I think we could definitely do something better at short. Even Ha-Seong Kim, I think, is more solid that way. I know we prioritize defense at shortstop. That's why I'm not exactly sure where it goes. But I think it's fun to realize that, hey, Braves are starting to make splashy moves. Maybe we make the ultimate one and go Bo Bichette. I don't want to go 186, which was his projection, but it ain't my money, and it would be really fun. But I don't think he lasts that long at shortstop. Maybe 2 years, and then you shift. But then you could have one of your younger prospects maybe come up and flourish. I honestly don't know, but I like the prospects, and I would be totally fine with Ha-Seong Kim as long as it doesn't well, yes and no. That is if we keep Sean Murphy, one. And two, I think you'll see Profar at DH when there's lefties on the mound because Yaz will probably play left field. He's much better at corner positions, and he smashes lefties in the chop house. And you'll see Ronald DH at times too. I think it's more of a rotating DH. But yes, if Sean Murphy is still a Brave, yes, I think you'll see Murphy and Baldwin DH at times. But I think again it's a very open option position now. And I think that's much better. Anyway, so I think it gives you so much more flexibility than we've seen over the years. And it's going to be interesting. I mean, I know that people were down on the Yaz thing, and obviously it matters what we do after the Yaz move. And obviously the Robert Suarez is a huge splash. And I think hopefully it'll continue. But I think you're really solid. But maybe we're talking about Brendan Donovan because he can shift his main position is second. Like that's why Brandon Lau and Nico Horner maybe makes sense because Ozzy's contract is up soon. So then you shift there, and one of the younger excuse me, one of the younger guys could pop in. Yes, I agree that Dale Murphy should have made the Hall of Fame. It's annoying that he didn't, but at least he stayed on the ballot. But I do wonder with the Robert Suarez, Iggy, and obviously Iggy's still closer as of now. Obviously, it's yeah. I don't know what they're looking for, but it is what it is, I guess. What's up, Wells? That would be my cousin. Hey, why are the Yankees so quiet, by the way? Just wondering. But I think that the Braves are really creating options and really fun things, and the reality of having to watch Angel De Los Santos and Hector Neris and all those type of guys. Nothing against them, but Iggy, possibly Loria, and Robert Suarez, that's a significant upgrade. And you take the $13.5 million that was Kinley, and I don't know why the Yankees are so quiet either, but maybe it's because they don't want to be an implosion like the Mets. I don't know. I'll get to that in a second, but I just think we always know that Alex Anthopoulos builds from back to front typically, and I think this is going towards the plan. And Kinley and Pierce Johnson options were 12.5 combined, and you get Robert Suarez at 13 million. I think that's absolutely perfect. And I know that Robert Suarez is a little older, and so is Iggy, but that hasn't deterred anything at this point. So I'm gonna guess that they're not worried about it, and I think that I really honestly feel like I don't know which one I like better as a reliever, Ronaldo Lopez or Grant Holmes, but either one of those in a 6th, 7th inning role doesn't make me mad either. So I think that's perfect. But obviously, time will tell. But the big thing is whatever we do at shortstop. Again, if we do the Corey Seager thing, yay! But I'll be very, very nervous given that he's older and the steep price tag of that just really scares me. But again, it's not my money, but I've just got the PTSD from the Mark Teixeira deal. But shortstop, I feel like it's going to be a creative name, unless it's Ha-Seong Kim that we haven't even talked about. I threw out a lot of names just now, so we'll see. But I really the plan seems to be coming into place, and the puzzle pieces are starting to circulate. So I'm really happy about that. Now, as far as our NL East rivals, I have no clue what is going on with the Mets. I understand like blowing up your core, kinda. After a collapse like they had, I sort of get that, but you lost Edwin Diaz for $3 million, kind of, because they had offer 366 and the Dodgers 370, 369. Obviously, with the deferrals, that's odd to me. And Brandon Nimmo, the longest tenured Met, approved the trade to the Texas Rangers for Marcus Semien. And apparently, I don't know if it's true, but some people say that Brandon Nimmo was the big culprit for the clubhouse issues for the Mets, because I don't have it on good authority, but I saw something that said Brandon Nimmo is pretty whiny, and I don't know if that's true or not. So I'm not trying to put Brandon Nimmo on blast or anything, because I have no clue, but that's just what I heard. But Pete Alonso getting 155 from the Orioles. It's an awesome deal for Pete Alonso. That's really cool, Charles, and good way to get in the holiday spirit. But 155 for Pete Alonso. He's gonna mash homers. I don't know if that ballpark will affect him at all. Probably not. The defense is a little shaky, but that's just the indication, because I've watched Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson for years, so I'm a little biased, as it were, for defensive purposes. I think the Baltimore Orioles still need a lot of pitching, but I think they've done a solid job this offseason in swooping in and getting Pete Alonso from the Boston Red Sox. And I think the contract probably won't age well, but I'm happy that the Orioles are going for it. And then the Mets not getting Robert Suarez, because that was seemingly the backup plan for him, and us getting him. Super, super pumped about that. Plus, the contract numbers aren't that bad. 13 for this year and 16 for the next two, which is the number that Raisel Iglesias is at right now. So I see nothing wrong with it at all. But it's just strange to me that the Mets have one clapseed type of year, and then you blow up your core, and all the relievers or backup plan relievers are gone. And I mean, there's plenty of time, and there's still options at first base, but maybe spending $800 million on one player kind of really affects the ability to what you do for your entire team. But I just blowing it up right now feels weird for the Mets. I'm not complaining, but as Hudson, you say something's in the water. I really think something is in the water for New York, and it's not necessarily a good thing for anyone except everyone at watching it and trying to figure it out, because it's one of the bigger mysteries, for sure. Ketel Marte, the second baseman for the Diamondbacks, probably likely going to get traded, and I hope it's not to the Phillies. That situation weirdly has soured a lot. Ketel Marte had a bunch of personal stuff going on last year, and some terrible stuff, but I did see a report that Devin Williams wanted to sign with the Chicago Cubs, but they wouldn't go 351. So that's why they wouldn't go to 50. So that's why he signed with the Mets. The only reason is that he got the 50 million. So it doesn't even feel like that Devin Williams exactly wants to be there, except for the contract that he was able to get. And I was surprised anyway by Devin Williams just switching sides in New York. I don't know, but I'd take Lindor. But see, I don't like the interdivision trades, because that ends up being we have to deal with whoever we give up. So I wouldn't see that. But I mean, Soto feels he's an amazing player, and I'm not saying that. And if if you're still in here, you know that, and you watched him in New York. But I think Judge was able to kind of squash any clubhouse issues, because it was weird for him in San Diego. I don't think he should have ever left Washington, to be honest, but now we are where we are, and spending 800 million on one player and then having your entire team leave one way or the other. I think the Marcus Semien ad is a good one, but it's just all too confusing. And then I think Kodai Sango was on the chopping or the trade block as well. Sorry, not cooking, but so yeah, it's very weird. And changing your core is fine, but the way it's happening is wild. But that's okay, because it's not the Braves. But I did have an issue with some comments I just saw from Jeff Francoeur, that the Braves need clubhouse leaders. Where's this coming from? I don't get it. Like we okay. That's fine. See ya, Hudson. Be safe, and if you're working, be careful, because I know you're busy. But there was a comment just recently that something went that Jeff Rancourt said we need clubhouse leaders. I think we have plenty of clubhouse leaders. Yeah. I don't get that Matt Olson's a clubhouse like you got plenty of clubhouse leaders. It's just because he doesn't like Ronald. I guess I don't know. This is dumb. Freddie's been gone for so long. Our leadership is fine. We just got hurt, and every single thing that could go wrong in 2025 did. I mean, we didn't win a game through the first week, and our left fielder got suspended for PEDs. There's really no coming back from that, honestly. Yeah, I just don't know where the lack he's saying the lack of leadership. I don't get it. I used to really like Frenchie, but I don't know where he's getting that we have lack of leadership. I don't. I really, really don't. But that is okay because I think we're fine. And obviously, Alex Anthopoulos prides himself on Clubhouse and that dynamic. And I think Jurickson Profar played a huge role in getting Robert Suarez here. And he could play a big role in Ha-Seong Kim coming back. I don't know. But I really appreciate that. And Ronald very much approved. What's up? I know. Kidding. No, it's not. And thank God for you guys because I think you got a lot of stuff to still do. But I think it's gonna be very interesting. Obviously, the Dodgers still Dodger. And we might really need to love this 2026 season because I don't think we're getting a 2027 with the need for a salary floor, salary cap type of thing. Make sure this isn't this alert isn't baseball. No, it's not. Okay, it's not baseball related. I was making sure. But I think that the Dodgers are gonna die, but like in 10 years they're gonna be broke and not winning, which that's okay. I guess they're trying to stack everything as much as they can, and more power to them until the rule says you can't do it. There is one thing that I've been thinking of since the World Series happened. I don't know if you watched Game 7. I think most of us did, but that bases loaded 1-out situation with Varsho at the plate, all I keep thinking of since that play happened, since the play happened, Miguel Rojas made the great play, but all I keep thinking of is the major league play with Taylor and the bunt. Varsho was fast enough, and so was Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. If they just did the bunt because the infield was back enough, would they have been able to score the game-winning run that way? Because Kiner-Falefa was like 3 inches from being safe anyway. So why didn't they just try the major league play? I just keep thinking that. I don't know if it would have worked, but that would have been really cool to see. And it might sound far-fetched and dumb, but that I just keep thinking that. But that was an epic World Series, and it just proves to you, no matter how much money you spend, they had to fight tooth and nail and got so lucky so many times, the Dodgers. So, I mean, they made the plays. I'm not saying that, but the parity is still there. So that is a good thing, even though the checkbooks and market and all that stuff is a little bit different, and it always will be until there's changes. But you still got to play the games is what I'm really getting at. But guess the bigger names to fall yet are Kyle Tucker, which could be an option for the Yankees. I don't know because your lineup is already left-handed heavy. Kyle Tucker, maybe the Mets. I saw the Dodgers, but that would have been a 3 to 4 year, and if that happens, I might I boycott the Dodgers anyway because I'll always watch the Braves. But Framber Valdez is still in the market. The Orioles have been hot and heavy with him, but I don't know if he gets the Cease type of deal with 210 because he's older and he doesn't have the pure stuff. So I don't know if that would work out. Ranger Suarez, the lefty from the Phillies, I would love for him just to get out of the NL East because for whatever reason the Braves can't solve Ranger Suarez. But I think there's still a lot of dominoes to fall, and I think there's going to be more trades than we think, especially with Ketel Marte that I mentioned earlier. Mackenzie Gore, lefty for the Nationals, has been out there as well. Cabrera for the Miami Marlins is out there, although I'm a little surprised because they keep saying that the Marlins have a ton of pitching depth, and I don't know that they do necessarily, but I haven't tracked that as much. But I think there still could be some trades for the Braves as well. 100 what? 100 plus what? If you're saying strikeouts, yeah, definitely. Strikeouts for sure. He's probably gonna, if he stays healthy, it'll probably be 175 to 200. I'd still think you could see some trades from the surplus of left-handed pitching kind of for the Braves with the guys I mentioned, the hybrids, the Joey Wentz's, the Robert Suarez's, the Hayden Harris's. No. You're aiming way too low, Charles, on that. Usually the bigger numbers are maybe 200. Probably 160 to 175 is probably more likely. But yes, definitely 100. Unless something catastrophic happens. Knock on wood that doesn't with the injuries. You got the surplus of some lefties hybrids, so that there could be some changes there. I think Hayden Harris could be a quality piece. Possibly he got a little bit of a cup of coffee last year, but maybe not exactly ready. But we'll see the role in spring training. I just don't know. The one lefty that confuses me a little bit is Aaron Bummer. Given that his role was so weird last year, but the year prior he only gave up one hard batted ball or whatever that stat is over 100 barrel rate. I believe he only gave up one ball over 105 miles an hour, and that contract at 9.5 is a lot. So I don't know if there's an option there to maybe shed salary and find something more you can predict. But I do know that the way the bullpen is currently, you're not going to get a lot of walks if the trends continue with their stats and all of that. And you're going to get a ton of strikeouts, which is exactly what you need. But we've seen like the depth moves of the roster, the smaller moves, those guys getting designated for assignment for the bigger names like Yastrzemski and Suarez today. So I think there's still a lot of things to figure, especially the main one being shortstop, because a lot of people don't believe that Mauricio Dubon is a everyday shortstop, and I don't know if I believe that either. I just know as of right now that's what it is, and $6.1 million isn't bad, and he's super great defensively, and we've prided ourselves on that. But again, with the Suarez addition, it's a little bit more splashy. So are we looking that way because we've checked in on Seager and Brendan Donovan and things of that nature? I think it's much more feasible to maybe aim bigger because if we're getting rumors, obviously a lot of them usually don't leak, but they're starting to a little bit more for the Braves. So I'm not necessarily saying no. I just think a lot of the bigger names may scare me a little bit, but hey, if they got a Brave on their chest and want to be here, I'm not gonna say no. And obviously, when it comes to trades, a lot of the time with our trades, you have to wait and see, and a lot of them. Yeah, I don't think 100 wins is out of the question. I mean, as long as things stay healthy, and that was our big issue last year. And a lot of things, like I said, everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and that's just the luck of the draw and how sports go. But I think that again, the depth and versatility, you're probably going to be tired of me saying that, and if I had $1 for every time I did say it, I'd be rich right now. But you went from your three outfields being Ronald Acuna Jr., Michael Harris, and Jurickson Profar, and your fourth outfielder being Jared Kelnick, big bust, De La Cruz, Stuart Fairchild, Jake Fraley. I'm sure I'm missing some. Eli White has been solid, and he's a really good pinch running option and speed and defense and all that stuff. So I'm really happy for him to stick around right now. But now you've got Michael Harris, Ronald Acuna Jr., Jurickson Profar, and Mike Yastrzemski, a very, very capable and amazing outfielder in many a different respect. The 13.4 walk rate really, really gets me going because it's the bottom tier of the lineup that kind of rotted. Like, well, rotted may not be the word, but it was very. You knew you probably weren't going to get something positive out of that, and now the different lineup combinations, depending on who's starting and things of that nature, gives you a lot of hope. Obviously, everything depends on Ozzy's health with the wrist, and that's maybe why you go for a more quality shortstop, or a better track record shortstop, I guess is the better term, because I think it's better. if you go better quality at shortstop, because then you could slide Dubon to second if Ozzy's wrist isn't ready. So I think that it's just going to be interesting how you navigate the shortstop and navigate maybe another starting pitcher and to fortify what you're going to do in the bullpen. But again, so many options, so many quality options, and I can't wait to see how the Braves play it, because I think this is the first time in a while that you're not set in stone in things, and things can happen, and you don't have to put so much pressure on one lineup, even though the 162 thing isn't a bad thing, but sometimes the year kind of just goes in a wacky wrong direction, and having options to give guys days off is something that we haven't seen in a while, and you love to see, for the factors of the ability to be fresher for a playoff run, or like just feel mentally stronger through 162, so you can put your best foot forward in a playoff series like Strider, Swellenbach, Sale, Waldrop taking a step forward. You got J.R. Ritchie down there. If you don't trade him, I mean, you really are creating something that feels really good. Plus, I forgot to even mention we got the 9th overall pick of the MLB draft, and obviously that was kind of a punch in the gut with the odds were less than 1,000,000,001% or whatever, that it was just the 9th overall pick. But with Drake Baldwin winning the Rookie of the Year, you've got 9, 26, and 49, and 3 of the top 50 picks. Gives you the warm and fuzzies with the last 2 drafts, which the draft people that know the draft better than I do say they've been really, really good drafts. So I'm going to hang my hat on that. And we've done a fantastic job of using our farm system to help the team, one, and to just straight help the team and use it in trades. So I have full trust in that gonna continue to get better, and I'm very happy in that regard too. I think everything's starting to come together. Obviously, you gotta avoid the injury bug, and we haven't done that the last few years. But again, that's the luck of the draw. But the cards and the deck that we are formulating feels really good, and whether so this is the most excited I've been in a while for a Braves team, and the sheer possibilities, and Baldwin coming off a Rookie of the Year, see how he does there, and just the team, the culture, and everybody wanting to be a Brave, I think is even more important with all the other things we're seeing across the league, and things like that. So I think the Braves are in a fantastic spot. I've been saying that for a while, but with these additions, makes me even more more happy, and even more excited, because you've got new blood, both in players, options, and the coaching staff, and just you're finding out that we did hate missing the playoffs, and it feels obvious, but you kind of have to walk the walk and realize that there's so many players. It would be doing a disservice to the players. You're very welcome. It's what I love to do. So it's pretty easy. You did too. Sorry. But yeah, I just I feel really, really good about this. Obviously, you still have to play the games, but it's it's a very, very intriguing, fun start, and hopefully we get an answer about shortstop or a bigger starting rotation option or something. But I think spending 84 million in the last couple of days tells you that we are wanting to win again, and missing the playoffs is not in the cards and not what we want. And I think that our core is fantastic. Um, and the message has been clearly sent by Alex Anthopoulos, and I really, really appreciate that. And that's why after last year's offseason, when Tanner Scott said no, when we nixed the Jeff Hoffman deal due to health and Jurickson Profar, I think this core, this options of moves are definitely better than last year on paper, and we'll see if that comes to fruition. But I can't be happier than right now. I probably will be, hopefully. Because Alex Anthopoulos never stopped working to make the team better one way or other or another. So I think these last 2 days with these moves an epic boost. We'll see what the other puzzle pieces are, but it's really fun to be a Braves fan. And last year was not fun, but I think Alex Anthopoulos has renewed the energy, and Walt Weiss, and just some different things. And I really, really appreciate that. I think that's all I got. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for hanging out, guys. As always, go Braves, champions forever. And I will talk to you guys next week. Hopefully, it'll be Tuesday, but it might be later in the week. But I'll try to get a Castmac chat during the week, whether it's Tuesday or I might have to switch it up like I did this week. I don't know, but I will continue to try to keep them coming because they're fun, and I appreciate the support, and it puts it in everything into perspective. And whether we agree or disagree, that's the beauty of it, and we'll see how it plays out this season. But thanks, guys.